Hello, and welcome back to our Gone Solo Keyforge Secrets of the Crucible campaign. If you've been waiting on pins and needles to find out what happens after that horrible cliffhanger in the last episode, well, so have I. I don't know how we're going to get out of this one. It's going to be tricky. We'll see how it goes. So, as a recap, in the last episode, Fabum and Doseep set out on their journey across the Crucible to get back to the Midnight Jungle. They landed in an Arctic wasteland. They found the giants from episode 1, had taken over a bunker there. They landed in a place where Martians were running plant experiments, and they ran into a very zealous, lonely outpost Martian scout who kept strong tabs on them, and they got a hint that the Martians are running some sort of plant experiments. And then, in the meantime, they're looking for key berries, and they land in a hypnotic swamp, and Fabum succumbs to the hypnotic powers of the swamp, and unbeknownst to her, Doseep has a secret mission. He's got some sort of other orders. He takes over the chariot and abandons Fabum in the hypnotic swamp. Whoa! So, last we left her, Fabum is hypnotized by a plant alone. She did get some supplies from Doseep, who is not a total monster. But we don't know what else is going on. So just a few bookkeeping things. I did increase the chaos to 8 based on the totally wild result from the last scene. And then I did add a new thread of Doseep's secret mission. Originally, I sort of rolled that into the mismanagement at the Saurian Arbitrators Guild, but I realized that these are actually 2 distinct threads, and while they might connect, they might be related in the future. For now, we're going to keep them as separate threads. So, where are we going? My guess is here's what we're going to do. Because chaos is so high, my guess is we're probably going to get a random event. So I'm going to go ahead and roll for that, and we're going to see how that gets into what's already going on, and we'll sort of let the dice kind of see where we go. So chaos is 8. I rolled a 5. So yes, we are going to roll for a interrupt scene. So what is the focus of this? All right, 10, NPC action. So one of the NPCs on our list is going to do something. And so let's make sure I get the actual table this time. The Oracle table. There we go. If you saw the last one, I accidentally rolled on one of the wrong tables. Not that it's all good. It's all inspiration, but all right. And what is the meaning? So 56, usurp again. Oh, goodness. 65. What on earth? That is weird. What are the chances of that? That I roll the exact usurp, intrigue, the exact same one as the last one. That's freaking weird. So what that tells me, here's what we're going to do. Okay. NPC action. And we rolled the exact same, as the one that caused Doseep to do. Okay. What are they? It's like 1 in like a 10,000 chance. So what we're going to do is, we're going to follow Doseep. We're going to figure out what's going on with Doseep. We're going to switch focus and see what Doseep is doing. Okay, I do not believe that. That is so bizarre. So we need to know what is going on. Okay, so what's the nature of this mission? We're going to use the NPC motivation chart. 14, possess. 84, knowledge. Possess knowledge. So there's some sort of technology or information that this mission is trying to capture. That makes sense, and that makes sense why they would send a scientist to get this information, an undercover scientist. So my question is, because we ran into the Martian plants, and because now there's like this adjacent hypnotic swamp that's also got plants, I'm wondering if that's all sort of... It makes sense to me that the Martians, if they're running some sort of experiment and they've got these young plants and they're growing, and it was also kind of a swampy area, right? There was these waterways that were coming in. It's just the plants were not as full grown. And we know that Martians use hypnotizing, technology. We know from the card game, and we know from the source material that they do have some sort of interest. So I'm wondering if this is some sort of development in terms of the hypnosis technology, making it more plant-based. So my question is, well, that all seems very... And then if they've landed here, is the knowledge that Dosip, whoever is giving him his orders, does it have to do something with the Martian hypnotic technology? I'm going to say that's very likely. 12. And that's a strong yes. So absolutely yes. They are definitely trying to get the Martian hypnosis technology, and this plant development has something to do with that. Okay, so the other question that I have is, who is Dosip working for? There's obviously some sort of other organization. Is it... So my question is there sort of a deeper layer within the Saurian Arbitrators Guild that is sort of driving this, or has the Saurian Arbitrators Guild been compromised by an outside force? So my question is Dosip taking orders from more secret higher-ups within the Arbitrators Guild, or is Dosip taking orders from a different organization? Who is Dosip working for? So we'll say 50-50, under 50, secret within, over 50, outside organization. 18. Okay. So there's some sort of more secret area that Fabum is not aware of, and Dosip is taking orders from them to go get to go obtain this Martian hypnotizing technology. So my remaining question has to do with why Dosip has to abandon Fabum in this hypnotic swamp. It seems pretty extreme, but I think we'll sort of let that unveil itself as things going on. So we know Dosip's got these secret orders to go get the Martian hypnotic technology, has something to do with these plants. So what I think, it seems likely to me that there's some sort of contact, right? And it's back in sort of the younger part, which they're not far from. And Dosip had to cut it off, right? Had to get rid of it because they were getting too far away from the from the area where their contact was. And he was supposed to go last night, but he couldn't because they got compromised by the Martian scout. Okay, this all seems likely to me. This, okay, so who is, tell me a little bit about this contact. That 10, it's a spirit. Okay. And we'll go ahead and give this spirit a name. Triwalk. So, Dosip leaves Fabum in the plant trance, gets back on the chariot, and turns around and heads back to the younger part of the swamp, this part that's being experimented on by the Martians. He knows where the Martian was before, and so is probably and knows, and they discovered that there was only the one. So it seems likely that he would know how to avoid the presence. So lands and meets up with the contact. Okay, so he comes back in, finds a space in between the rivers, and then out of sort of the young saplings comes, well, we know spirits can inhabit armor and things, so I'm wondering if this one, what sort of thing they might inhabit. Well, so there's a woman, a queen with a sword. So yeah, we'll say it is. There's some armor, but there's also like a crown piece, and there's also a sword piece. That it's sort of this ensemble royal armor that this spirit Triwalk inhabits. So Dosip goes up, and the spirit comes out of the young sapling plants. Maybe rises up. Maybe the armor assembles itself as the spirit takes shape. And the spirit says, "You are late." And Dosip says, I know my partner compromised our position last night. She is not, she does not have the security clearance. She can't know about this. Do you have the information? Do they have it? 70 with chaos rank of 8. Yeah, that's a yes. Things are just more likely as things get crazy. Yes, I have it. And let's say there's a data pad, and then there's also sort of a cutting of a young sapling plant. And Dosip goes and retrieves that. What does this spirit want out of this? 6 interact, 59 harmony. It is my solemn wish that by your organization getting this technology, it'll bring harmony and peace to this area of the Crucible and undermine the Martians' efforts to expand. We have taken this opportunity. Do not fail now. And Dosip says, yes, I understand. So, he's got the thing. Fabum is still back in the swamp. Dosip could go back. Maybe he just needed to leave her there, sort of entranced, so she wouldn't know what was happening, right? So this part of the mission could remain secret. So he could go back, and then they could continue. Now that he's got this thing, we just know he needs to get it back to the Saurian Arbitrators Guild, and there's sort of this other plot going along. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll in the thread, the Martian plant experiments. Doseep's secret mission is to undermine the Martian hypnotic technology. He's under orders from a more secret branch of the Saurian Arbitrators Guild, and Fabum is not cleared. So he goes back, he finds Fabum still entranced, but now the vines have started to kind of wrap themselves around, and so he's going to need to he's going to need to break her free. All right, success. He's able to break off the vines, pull her back onto the chariot, and then take off out of the sky. And Fabum is still sort of in a daze, doesn't know what's happened. So, well, I thought you left. And Doseep says, "What are you saying? No, of course not." And she's so dazed that she doesn't realize that he's lying, and it just, for her, the memory, it just sort of it doesn't mean anything, and that's it. So in that scene there, we will lower chaos down to 7 because Doseep was able to do what he needed, and now we're back on the path, learning about there's this other mission going on that we didn't know about. We're still heading to the Midnight Jungle, and we still need to get some key berries. So after the fiasco, finding key berries there, they're going to look for a source. I think they're going to try to look for a source once they get back to the Midnight Jungle. So this scene is they're headed off to the Midnight Jungle, and they're going to land there for tonight. Chaos is 3, so yes, we are just going to have things happening. So things are going to happen, not as altered scene, not quite the way that we anticipated. So what happens now? Event focus is, that one's cocked. That is a 6, so a remote event. Something happening elsewhere, distantly. And what is the nature of this event? 59. Agree. 30. Possessions. And this is something that's happening elsewhere in a distant place that will have some bearing on what is going to happen eventually. So what I think this means is whatever that cargo was, with the emanations of negative emotions, bad juju train car, that has now exchanged hands. So, if we see sort of a cutscene of a shadowy figure or, whatever, and they have now taken possession of that cargo. So if our investigators go check it out, the cargo is no longer going to be there. But they won't know that yet until they get there. So they land in the Midnight Jungle near the Silicate Village. At this point, Fabum has sort of shaken off the hypnotic control of the vine plant. Doseep has carefully hidden away the secret cargo that he obtained from the spirit, and is going to keep his mission secret while they go do this other thing. Great. But they still need key berries. So, is there something nearby? There's something, in a moderate distance. But are they going to be able to get it tonight, or do they need to get it tonight? Yeah. Fabum wants to make sure that the pterosaur is taken care of while they're here. And remember, they are totally out of key berries at this point because of the things that happened. Yeah, so they're going to go. That's going to be priority number 1. So they've got the location. They decide to venture out. And they've got the really accurate map. So let's see how they do tracking down the location of this. All right, success with a threat. So what is the nature of this threat? Let's say there's something out in the wilderness. 12? Oh, there's going to be fairies and pixies. Okay, so for those of you who are less familiar with the setting, fairies are tiny robots that inhabit the wild spaces of the Crucible. Nobody really knows where they came from. Some people think that the architects planted them to kind of keep everything in balance, and some people can, hack them and control them to do what they want. But anyway, they're tiny little robot fairies, and so let's say they found the stash of berry, the bush where the berries were. There was a Keyforge here at some point, causing the key berries to grow, but there are fairies there harvesting them for themselves. So, and how much? 8. Okay, this is a real good supply, big supply. But the fairies are there harvesting them for themselves. So what is Fabum going to do? We need to distract or get rid of the. How many are there? Let's just roll a d6. 5. Okay, so there are 5 of these little fairies buzzing around trying to get these berries. So they're not necessarily dangerous. It's just that in this situation, they're getting the berries that Fabum wants. So Fabum is going to try, will more than likely fail, but is going to try to hide to see what is going on. Okay, so that's a failure with the threats. The fairies are aware of what of Fabum's presence, and they are going to attack and pester her. So here we go. First combat of the campaign. We're going to try to attack Fabum. They fail. They are not able to attack Fabum. So Fabum's going to get her Dream Ray out. All right. The 3 successes. Okay. 8 damage minus the fairy soak of 2. So that's 6. So that's going to take out 2 of the fairies. Because their wound threshold is 3. So the fairies come up. They're buzzing around. And Fabum is able to fire with her Dream Ray and knock out 2 of them. So the fairies are going to try to attack again with their stingers. Okay. They are able to get a hit. Only able to do 1 wound. Because of Fabum's, she's very big and she's got armor. I need to look up what Disorient does. Okay, so she's just going to add a black die to all skill checks. Okay, so Fabum is going to fire again, and she should have added an extra difficulty dice on that last one, but and she's slightly disoriented, so the fairies are able to, she's like, she gets another success. So 3 success. So that's another 8 damage minus 2. She takes out another 2 fairies. I think I'm doing this right. I don't really know. So there's only 1 fairy left. Does the fairy flee? 50-50. Okay. 98. Absolutely not. No. Enraged, this fairy is. Fairy is not able to get a hit. And so Fabum, feeling emboldened. All right, and we'll call it, because that's one hit plus the damage minus the soak. Yeah. So Fabum is able to blast away all of the fairies with her Dream Ray and get a large bounty of key berries for her pterosaur. So that is all very good. Great. So she heads back to, they've made their base in the Silicate village, and Fabum is able to, is Bay there? 41. Yeah, Bay is there, but Fabum doesn't really want to talk to Bay right now. Feeling, a little, unsure about, especially after the conversation with Doseep in the Arctic tent. She doesn't really know where she's at on all of that. But Bay is there, and so is the leader of the Silicates, which is, I believe, his name's Rock. They make their camp. The pterosaur is all well and good and fed. Maybe they have like a special Silicate performance. They do their little thing. Oh, and Bay, because we know Bay is a performer. Maybe he's got a little like flute, and so he's doing like his little like flute performance, and like Fabum is like trying to watch, but also like trying to not to watch. It's just awkward, this thing that they were trying to work out. And remember, Bay told her to not be investigating, not be looking around this whole trans tech thing. So, depending on who else knows about that, Fabum is not very well welcome. So after the performance, right, the leader comes over. Is the leader is also going to sort of like say, hey, or be suspicious about the investigation? 90. No, okay, so the leader isn't, whatever Bay knows, the leader doesn't know. It says, comes up and says, "Oh, we're so glad to have you back in our village, Fabum. Thank you for figuring out that problem with the giants so long ago. I haven't seen them. I don't even know where they are." "Oh, they ended up in an Arctic wasteland in a bunker." "Oh, that's very interesting. Well, you are always welcome to stay in our village, and anything you need, I can help you." Fabum says, "Good. Last time I was here, we uncovered some very interesting information, so we're just going to be looking through that again, and if I need any help, I will let you know." Great. We're going to call that a scene. I'd say Fabum was pretty in charge of that scene. She really took charge of those fairies. She got those berries. So we're going to bring that chaos rank back down to 6. All right. So next day, they're going to head out to the rail line, whatever it is, MacLeod or whatever, whatever that rail line is, and try to get back to this original mystery it's so delayed from. But we're finally here. So, but we've got to roll on our chaos die. And that is a 6. So, no, they're able to do that. So, they go out, but as we determined from the random event from the last scene, Fabum takes Doseep out to that place, and it's not there anymore. The train is gone, and there's nothing there. So they are going to, I guess, investigate, look around for other clues. Do they find anything? Well, they find a threat. So, no, not only do they not find anything, you know, it's in the Midnight Jungle, it's dark, it's sort of spooky, and Fabum gets a little unnerved, right? So maybe we'll just give her she has to take a strain. That's fine. She'll heal that whenever. It'll be fine. What they do next? They need to know more about trans tech. We know that the leader isn't involved. So if they went to ask him anything, that probably wouldn't go anywhere. So maybe she has no other choice but to go back to Bay and ask Bay if they know anything. So she heads back to the village. She tracks Bay down, and she's got Dosey with her this time, and says, so Bay is, you know, maybe, you know, chipping rocks or practicing on their flute or whatever. And Fabum says, well, hello. Oh, how is Bay feeling? 86? Oh, Bay is feeling sociable. Okay. So,
well, good to see you again, Fabum. What brings you back?
well, I'm here to investigate that strange train that I found last time I was here. The Transtech train with that mysterious cargo.
I told you not to look into that.
I know. But I'm here and I'm back, and I'm wondering if there's anything that you can tell me at all. So she is going to kind of bear down, use her coercion. She's got backup now, but we'll give her a setback just because of the awkwardness between the two. But we'll see what happens. All right. Oh, but it's a success.
All right. I'll tell you what I know, but not here. Back into my hut.
So they go into Bay's little stone hut, sort of lit with like glowing rocks around, and Fabum and Dosey kind of have, Fabum especially because she's very large, has to kind of slink down, and Dosey kind of comes in and bonks his hard head up against the boonk, boonk, which doesn't bother him because it's like a helmet. But what do they want to know anything that Fabum can tell. So let's get some flavor from a story die. Okay. It was plants. They were transporting plants. And we know about plants, right? Bay says, all I know is that whatever was on that train, they're plants. They're plant cuttings. I don't know why they, make such bad feelings, but that's what there is. But you didn't hear it from me. Okay, there's other things going on here. You didn't hear it from me. And Fabum says, "Oh, that's very interesting. That there would be plants. That's very unusual." But Dosey knows what these plants are. This has to do with the Martian hypnotic plant experiment, right? That's the whole premise. So Dosey knows what's going on here, or has a strong suspicion this has to do with the Martian hypnotic technology. But Fabum does not. So they go back to their chariot and where they're making camp, and Fabum says, plants. That's very strange, don't you think? And Dosip says, well, yes. Yes, that would be very strange, but can't say anything. So at that point, I think we will leave it there. So thanks so much for tuning in. These things take the wild turns, but I feel the threads starting to come together. So interesting. So please like and subscribe. If you've gotten this far and you haven't subscribed, what are you doing? See you next time.